Hello guys, brand new Diablo 4 information guys. Okay, here we go. So Diablo 4 open beta retrospective transforming feedback into change guys. So all the feedback that we sent to Blizzard, they're now changing guys. Class stuff, dungeon stuff, layouts, class systems, all the stuff's changing, nerfs guys, we knew it was going to happen. So let's go check this out quickly. Let's get it straight to the point. Let's quickly read this out then. Okay, so on the weekends on March 17th to 24th, guys, Sanctuary let a cry for help, a cry that would be answered by hordes of wanderers who rode in a nameless horse and loosened Livscraft on Sanctuary. Well, we didn't actually have horses in beta, but you know. During the early access and open beta weekends, we sent the players countless demons back to the Burning Hells, obtaining powerful gear, and saw Liv's crown plot unfold before them. Many of these players also took the time to leave favourable feedback on official Diablo 3 forums. So I've got this post, guys, on platforms such as Reddit and Discord. After the early access and open beta weekends concluded, the development team read through all of your feedback and reviewed the gameplay data. Using this information, we have made a variety of fixes and updates to various systems in Diablo 4, all of which will be present in the version of the game that launches on June the 6th, guys. Oh, we're so close now, guys. June the 6th, man. It's just around the corner. If you've got the early access bundle, guys, you can play on June the 2nd. Well, Q's pendant, of course. None of this would be possible without the community's dedication and love for the Diablo universe, which we say thank you. Right, guys, first things first, guys, it's dungeon layouts. Now, some of the dungeon layouts weren't great in beta. There was a lot of running back and forth and backtracking and just a little annoying things. So let's read this out. Dungeon layouts. One of the most common pieces of feedback we received is that players felt they were doing a lot of backtracking in certain dungeons. Yeah, exactly what I thought as well. We have optimized multiple dungeons across all zones to minimize the need for backtracking. Good. This is very similar to what they did in Diablo 3, remember guys, during rifts and stuff. Here's a list of dungeons, specifically in the Fractured Peak zone, which received layout updates. So Cadera's Gate, Devoured Catacombs, Deritus Lodge, Wooden City, Hoarfrost Demise, Immortal Emanation, Core Dragon Barracks, Moorwood, and Rhymescar Caverns. Developers know our primary goal with the layout changes was to reduce certain kinds of backtracking which detract from a player's experience. Example of this change is that players previously needed to enter side rooms to interact with structure objectives, causing them to retread the same path. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, we've seen this happen in many action RPG games, including D3. Now, with many of our structural objectives have been repositioned along main dungeon pathways, making them easier for players to reach and allow them to readily explore the dungeon after defeating the structure. Dungeon events. The chance for a dungeon event to spawn inside a dungeon now has increased from 10% to 60%. So the events now, guys, is much more often now. That's good. Brilliant. Dungeon gameplay. To reduce the need to backtrack, small numbers of straggling monsters will seek out the player to help complete the kill all missions objective. Oh, that's kind of nice, actually. Sometimes you miss one or two, you know, because you're like zooming about. You know, you miss one and you're like, oh, bloody, I've got to run all the way around again now to find this one monster. They actually come seek out you guys. So that's a nice change. I really like that change. That's good. When the Animus is gathered, remember those little dot things you have to pick up? The player and nearby allies will gain 10 resource now. Reduce all active cooldowns by 1 second. That's nice. Depositing Animus channel time was reduced from 3 seconds to 0 seconds now. So now you just dump it in there. Good. That's good because it did take quite a while to pop that in there. It's kind of weird. The time to rescue was reduced from 3 to 1.5 seconds now. All rescue objectives now drop a health potion upon completion. That's quite nice. While carrying the ancient statue, bloodstone, mechanical box, or stone carving, you will receive a momentum bonus granting you 25% more movement speed to you and your nearby allies. So that's pretty cool, guys. Remember like the thing when you pick up the box all with the shards and all that? You get a little movement bonus now, 25%, that's pretty good. Pedestals had their channel time reduced from 2 to 0 seconds now as well, so that's another good change. Returning a portable object to its pedestal now fully restores health, resource, potions, and resets cooldowns for all nearby players. Nice. All doors will now generate minimap ping when they are opened. That's really nice, actually, because you know the main door's been popped now, that's good. All structure objectives in dungeons now have additional combat mechanics players must overcome. Ooh. Developers know, while our dungeons offer a variety of objectives to complete, a player's feedback cited that the action of completing each objective felt tedious. That's very true. I felt exactly the same. We hope that providing bonuses such as the increase in mobility while carrying certain objects and items will streamline and vary the experience of completing the objectives. This adjustment is merely a starting point, and we intend to extend this philosophy in keys in a future update. The main thing personally that I felt about dungeons, well, they felt a little bit flat. I wanted to be like climbing up and down more vertical stuff and things like that, leaping across more chasms and stuff. For me, just sort of like the dungeon was just like one level, and you just went, meow, you just did it, and that was it. I'm really like jumping across things, like going to those little shimmy rope things that you see in the outside world and climbing up into stuff, man. I would like some more verticality. I think that's what I'm looking for to say. So it's good that they've done that. That's good. Guys, here we go. Classes. What's going to happen, man? There's loads of OP stuff happening in the beta. Classes general. Effects like stun and freeze can be applied to elite monsters twice as long before they become unstoppable. Reviewed class skills to confirm that all classes have access to sufficient skills that remove control pairing effects. Ooh. That's nice. So all the class guys are basically going to get a purge. Interesting. Many legendary powers have had updates to their effectiveness. Some of the other powers were a bit meh. But it's beta. It's going to be like that. Barbarian guys. Here we go. Now, the Barbarian guys was nuts. Okay, there was a whirlwind building going around in beta, and it was just destroying. It was absolutely destroying. So they're probably going to nerf this. Here we go. A flat 10% passive damage reduction has been added for the Barbarian class. Ooh, very nice. Some skill tree passives have had their damage reduction effects reduced to compensate. Okay, so you're going to be naturally more tanky now. All the time with a barb. Really enjoyed the barb guys in the beta. It was so much fun. Here we go, yeah. The Whirlwind skill now deals more damage and consumes more fury. Whoa! That made it do more damage? Okay. Well, maybe they've nerfed the legendary power that made it too strong. The double swing skill enhancement refunds all fury cost when used on stunned or knocked down enemies now. Okay, that's interesting. Double swing skill enhancement refunds all fury costs when it's used on stunned or knocked down enemies. Interesting. Druid. Okay. Druid, guys. Now, guys, I was testing a pet build on the Druid with kill command. And it was really good. It was doing some insane damage. And they've just increased the damage of the companion skills now. That's really good. So companion skills now deal heavily increased damage now. Ooh, how much is heavily increased? Are we talking like 50%? Because kill command could wreck with that now. Oh my god. All armor skills have their cooldowns reduced. That's good actually, because some of them were way too long. I found that most of the time that I found ultimate skills didn't really feel that ultimate. Did you guys feel that way as well? A few of them was okay, but largely I didn't bother using the ultimate skills. So I was just using other skills just to compensate with my stuff on top to make them stuff better. But maybe that would make them a little bit more useful. It depends how much cooldown we're talking about, though. Usability improvements have been made to maul and pulverize now. Ooh. Using a non-shape-shifting skill will transform a druid back into their human form. Cool. Necromancer. Now we know this is going to get nerfed. Yep, there it is. Summon minions will now die more often. Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, on the beta, they weren't really dying, but that was only veteran level though. You know, so if we get into like Hell and Torment, it might die too much now. Who knows? We'll find out, guys, once it comes out. Requiring players to utilize corpses more often now. Okay, fair enough. Many bonuses in the Book of the Dead have their stats increased. Ooh, that's really good, guys. Stats increased in Book of the Dead. The damage dealt by Corp Explosion skill has been reduced. We knew this was going to happen. There was a broken build with that legendary that was making you basically auto-explode on Corp Explosion, so we knew this was going to be nerfed. But it doesn't say how much they've nerfed it by. The brightness... Oh, there you go, guys. The brightness of the skeletal warriors and mages have been reduced. The graphic for the in the beta of the mages and the warriors, it looked a little bit... It didn't look quite right for Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is supposed to be like a stupid dark gothic game. And the brightness of the skeletal warriors and mages. Why the effect... I can understand why they did the effect, but it didn't look quite right. It didn't look quite right. So basically now the brightness of the skeletal warriors now has been reduced now. So it should look more dark and foreboding rather than big, brightly lit up warriors and mages, man. What do you guys think about that? I personally would prefer if it wasn't as bright. Personally. Right, guys, rogue changes. Upgrades for subterfuge skills have their bonuses increased. Multiple passive skills have had their bonuses increased, and all imbuement skills have their cooldowns increased. I didn't actually get a chance to play Rogue, so maybe someone in the chat, guys, could comment on the video about these changes. Let me know if they're good or bad. I played everything else apart from the Rogue, actually. Sorcerer, charged bolts damage increased, and the mana cost of the cast has been decreased. Decrease the damage of Chain Lightning. We knew this was going to happen. Chain Lightning was absolutely insane on beta. I was just running around like, Chain Lightning, Chain Lightning. It was really, really fun, actually. But decrease the damage of Chain Lightning and reduce the effectiveness against bosses. Okay, we knew this was going to happen, but it doesn't say how much they've nerfed it. It might still be okay. Decrease the cooldown of Incinerate skills, enchantment bonus. Firewalls will now spawn underneath enemies more frequently when using this enchantment bonus. Increase the lucky hit chance for Meteor skills enchantment bonus. Developers note here, guys. Whenever we introduce changes to our classes, it is with the goal of making them and their skills feel more impactful and powerful. Your feedback has helped us hotbar with this ideal. Some players have adeptly noticed that certain skills were too powerful, and one of our goals is for skills to have to be interesting to wield and in interactive terms of optimization and combat feel. Yeah, you can't just have just one skill, just wiping out everything else and just, why should I play this? Because this one skill does everything, so they need to do that. It's always hard to balance in RPGs, though. We've made some changes to help this in regard, with one example being the Necromancer's minions. We've made a change that makes them more vulnerable in combat, which makes Raising the Dead a more active component of the Necromancer's gameplay now. Launch is just a first step of our current balanced journey, and you can expect further updates to iterate on the pillar of Diablo 4. So, in other words, guys, if it goes too far, it's just like what we've seen over the last 10 plus years. Well, 20 years, really. If things are too weak, they buff it. If it's too strong, they nerf it. Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's the usual, man. It's usual. But, yeah. UI. Oh, okay, guys. Here we go. What they've done with the UI. Here we go. Fix an issue where the built-in screen reader was not reading key prompts, game options, details, and the UI text. Fix an issue where actions could not be bound to the mouse wheel. Yes, that was annoying. Fix an issue where evade could not be bound to right analog stick on controller. Chat will now display on the left side of the screen. Oh, thank God. On the left side of the screen, when using the center of the action bar configuration, a character's stats will be displayed by default when players click the materials and stats button within their inventory. Thank you. It was way too much navigation to see your stats. That's a good change. The move and interact inputs can now be mapped to one button, while the primary attack out input is mapped to a secondary button. The sans serif font used in game has been placed with a new serif font. Oh, they've changed the font. I wonder what they've... Oh, okay, I'll have to check that when they release it. Encounters fixed multiple issues that allowed bosses like the Butcher to become unresponsive. Okay, I never had the actual issue because he was charging at me like crazy, man. Okay, there was a bug with Butcher guys making them unresponsive. The Butcher now has been re-evaluated for difficulty and present a greater challenge in World Tiers 3 and 4. Yes, thank you. Thank you for making him harder. This is great. I don't want to see the Butcher, man. Just another monster, that's easy to kill. I'm really glad that they made the Butcher guys an absolute beast in World Tiers 3 and 4. Let's go, man. Let's go. I want to see Butcher killing everyone. I want to scream when I see him like, oh, God, Butcher's in, run! Try and get some people to take him down, Because it was too easy in the beta, for my setup that I had anyway. Anyway, okay, so bosses such as Tichor, Manlock, Vernad, and others were available for melee character difficulty, resulting in changes in attacks and fight mechanics. Okay. Fixed an issue where vampire brutes were using shadow enchant effects, which chain cast Impale. Is that what was going on? Okay. Sellers. Okay, guys, so what's happening with sellers then? Increase the chance for a dungeon event to occur in cellars. Okay, dungeon event occurs in cellars. Cellars will now consistently reward a chest upon completion now. Okay. Fix an issue where cellars will prematurely be marked as complete. Fix an issue where the guaranteed elite monster would be absent from a cellar. Okay, they fixed that. Generally, quality of life. Fix an issue where players could increase attack speed by move cancelling attacks early. I'm glad they fixed that. That was pretty dumb. Yeah, we've seen this in many games. Faced an issue where characters weren't immune to untuggable after loading into an area. Oh, really? People just dying. They play hardcore, guys. Thank God they fixed that. The reset dungeon button has been disabled. Oh, the reset dungeon has been disabled. You know why, guys? Because of target farming, They disabled the reset dungeon button. Interesting. So how long now would it take for a dungeon to cool down now so you can go back in? I don't know. We'll find out once it goes released, man. Fix an issue that caused Gal Valley and Serek Rapture to have less monsters than intended into the campaign quest, so their territories were completed. Lovely. And then, guys, there's a stream here with Riker, guys, on April the 20th. So in 6 days' time of this video. For the Div update stream, man. Riker's a good friend of mine. He's a really nice guy. So definitely check him out as well. So, yeah, guys, April the 12th, 10 a.m. PDT. Joe Shelley. Joseph is going to be there as well. Adam Flesh is going to be there. Got to add him. With Riker, guys, going to be doing those good questions. Nice one, Riker. Update live stream. Nice! I'll be definitely watching that, guys. You can click on the YouTube and channels there. Hell, Lilith! Blessed Mother, Diablo 14. And there you go, guys. What do you guys think about all this information, man? Quite a lot of things to go through. A lot of changes. We knew there was going to be buffs and nerfs. I'm kind of surprised that Wellman got buff. What? Are they sure about this? But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Maybe Bob would be broken on launch as well. Brilliant. Guys, thanks very much for watching. Subscribe if you like more Diablo content. See you in the next video. Take care. Woo!